Hello guys, welcome back. So in the last video, I showed off two old laptops that really didn't have any much of a use. I put Garuda Linux on them to give them better life, but unfortunately, one of them was just complete garbage. So, as I said in the past video, I've managed to turn this into a home server. This is the Dell Latitude E6510. You can see it says it right here. This laptop, despite it being 13 years old, and you can actually see the manufacture date exactly in the BIOS settings, it has some pretty interesting settings, right? So it has VGA port, which as you'd expect, it was a legacy input, but it was there. But it didn't have HDMI. It went straight to DisplayPort. It also has some weird other technologies. It has an eSATA mixed USB port right here. It has two express card slots. Well, it has one express card slot, one PC card slot. And with that, you can actually manage to get USB 3.0. With the DisplayPort, I managed to get a DisplayPort cable running right up to my main monitor for my PC so that I could do some emergency maintenance on it because it was on emergency mode for whatever reason. So this laptop, and I'll show you the files in a moment, but right now it's running as a media server for Jellyfin and for my pictures. I have actually two SSDs in this thing, and I'll show you the back. The battery's plugged out. You can see there's no fan movement. Here's the first SSD. Here's the second SSD. I've actually taken the CD drive out, and I got an adapter for this kind of SATA thing, and I screwed it on there, so I can't take it out and show you, but it's there. I'm planning on using these kind of PCI slots to connect an external GPU, because the thing is, with Jellyfin, it's nice, but there's a problem. The problem is that it can't render certain videos, right? So, I've gone out sailing for like 3, 4, 5 years now. I managed to pick up quite good quality rips. I have this one particular series that this laptop just can't render. It's pissing me off. I have K-On! 1, Season 2, the movie. They're all in AV1 format. And I guess for that reason, it doesn't want to render. So, what I could do, I could take that old GTX 1650, plug it out, get some sort of adapter, and put it in the mini SATA in the back, right? Because that slot is reserved for a WWAN port, a WWAN adapter. I've never connected to a wireless wide area network in my life. I don't even know how you do that. That's impossible. So, I forgot to mention another thing. This is also running Pi-hole, because I used to have a Raspberry Pi sitting right above here in this little TP-Link switch. But the problem is, I just kept having to do maintenance on it. I kept having to reinstall either Pi OS or Raspberry Pi OS, having to reconfigure Pi-hole, reconfigure that. And eventually it got to the point where it would literally shut off every 5 minutes. And I couldn't have found this smart switch that I've wrapped up with aluminum foil that has a button. If I could just do that and power cycle it every couple of minutes, it would be fine, because I was running the failing Raspberry Pi in parallel with this that worked perfectly as redundancy, when in reality it should have been the other way around. However, even though I think it's a nice idea to have two Pi-holes as redundancy, That thing is gone. That thing is dead. That thing is dead to me. It never existed. On the topic of pie hole, I have this rooted Samsung Galaxy Tab A7. And you can tell that it's rooted. First of all, I've deleted Chrome and some of the other things here that is just bloat. I'm not going to be using that. I don't want Chrome on my thing. I don't have tape on that. Hold on, let's fix that. I kind of realized that I kind of like having the automatic brightness. I don't want to have to manually switch up the brightness. I've already have the tape covered up on the front camera of my iPad, and don't want to have to deal with this on something that's literally just a dedicated display. So I'm just gonna go here, click off that, and this is basically what it is. Like I said, it's a dedicated display for the pie hole stats. You can see here, while my sister was watching a Pokemon movie on Tubi, you can see all of these blocked queries. The number dramatically shoots up. So if you needed any more confirmation that it works, boom. Now, on to this Acer laptop. I forgot the model of it exactly, but I know what it has. Even though I forgot the model, I can go right up here to the terminal. It'll automatically go in fast fetch for us. What is this? Never mind, I don't know what it is. So, you might have noticed, obviously, the taped up camera, but these are Velcro straps. This portable monitor that I have here, notice the Velcro straps in the back. Yeah, these Velcro straps can actually support the weight of an entire other monitor put on top. And I have my setup right here for the laptop that I typically rock. This is nothing. Oh, this could go in the tool bag. God damn it. So this setup is really what I basically rock. The Thunderbolt cable is usually here. But I have this Keychron keyboard. I don't know what model it is. Always got to check on the back. V1M4F. Yeah, has the knob, has everything you need. Page up, page down, F keys. Amazing. You know why I'm saying that's amazing, even though you're probably thinking, hey, it's a really basic and mundane feature. Well, these Chromebooks, the thing about these Chromebooks is look what they put instead of the F keys. And in case you're wondering, hey, maybe there's some additional functionalities. Maybe if you press control function, yeah, there's no function key. You can't turn this back into the thing. You can't put the alligator back in the cage, right? But let's say if I go to like, let's say Safe Borrow, right? I'll go at B bookmarks, save, and then I'll just go on the feed to see what's up. You can see right here. Oh my God, that is a huge picture. But it works like that. And you can see this. Oh yeah. It works as it should. But me personally, I'm gonna be using Alt arrow key anyways. So all of this is redundant. The only thing that I need is this. And this also has controls for the brightness. So what I do, since this Keychron laptop is so nice and generous, I could use Bluetooth, but I could instead opt for a direct connection. The only thing I lose with not going Bluetooth is that I can't see the keyboard's battery life. But honestly, this keyboard has a great battery life. So I just ship this here, it'll go green, and then it'll do this. And now you can see if I Alt arrow and I Alt arrow forward, it's a little bit of a stretch, but I can do it. And if I function, yeah. So, you know, I'm gonna take this Thunderbolt cable. I'm going to show you what a dual monitor Chromebook looks like. Yeah. Got my mouse right there. And for some reason, whenever I put the laptop, the screens in this configuration, this will always take precedence as the primary display, which I mean, I'm not offended by any means, because it's right at eye level, which is pretty convenient. This isn't even 1080p, the main screen, so it'll end up just being like a secondary display. It's nice when, let's say for example, I want to go on Dolphin, because for some reason the default Thunar, even though I've learned to love it, doesn't want to work anymore. So if I just go here, I go on data, that's like the main Casa OS thing right here. What I use the NAS for is basically just like, you know, like I said, drawings that I have, I didn't draw them, obviously, just like digital art drawings of other characters, fan art, if you will, right? Books that I just so happened to find out online completely for free in PDF and EPUB format, you know? Here, the common folder is for things that I'd really want to have synchronized that couldn't be synchronized. Like, obviously, since the NAS is just your own personal cloud, things like your browser shortcut configurations. I know, obviously, that doesn't sound like a lot, right? But look at the sheer, like, the firewall that we have right here. And this isn't including, like, the Pi-hole, right? Things that will get through here will go into the Pi-hole. What's convenient, right? Like, obviously, if you set it to auto allow, like the top, right? The semi mode, like the middle intermediate mode on this no script extension, it'll be a little bit easier, right? But let's say if I wanted to go into CompTIA, right, to do my networking class, right? I'd have to go into each and every single one of these JavaScript elements and unblock them and reblock them in order to figure out which one it was. Now, I did do that on this laptop, but the problem was I dual boot Garuda Linux and Windows on this, right? I already have it configured on Windows, but I haven't had it configured for Linux. So all that I did was I went in here, I exported the configuration, and I put it in this folder right here, common folder. And I have a couple manuals for this keyboard. So go here, browser syncs, there's the no script data. All I had to do was I didn't even have to paste it in. All I had to do was I just went here, you can go here, settings, import, and I just navigated to the thing on my NAS, and it was like that. Gotta check the battery on the phone. I can't do that, so I'm just gonna grab this cable, super long cable. Boom, 18%, not bad. So yeah, I can go here. Let's say I want to read Lenin. All right, go here. Where is it? Oh, it isn't here. Well, I guess I'm just gonna have to get that out with free file sync. But let's say you wanna read some fiction. All right, I got Neuromancer right here for you. And this might take a little while to load. Oh, yep, there we go. EPUBs always take a minute. It's slower than PDFs, especially because I think, yeah, boom. And keep in mind, I did not pirate this. I just so happened to have stumbled upon it in PDF format. So this is the data folder, and obviously, Seagate, I did not tell you about this, but right here, right there is the 2 terabyte drive that I used to have everything on. All right, all the photos, all the videos, everything. So what I did, I just yanked it all out and I put it in an 8 terabyte drive that I have, right? Obviously, it's kind of also full, but I managed to get that out. I formatted it. I put it on a directory in the mount section. I just made a directory in mount. And I pointed Casa OS to it. I pointed Jellyfin to it. And what that means is, right here, I can go here. I can go anime. I can show you the canon I was talking about. Where is it? Here it is. Season 1, episode 1. I genuinely wonder how this is gonna load. If it'll load at all. Oh, you can see, oh, what happened here? And this is as much as we're gonna play for copyright infringement. So I guess it's just like a Jellyfin thing. The more you know. So yeah, this is basically the pinnacle of what you can do with the Chromebook on Linux. You can hook up a second monitor, keyboard and mouse,